All right, we're just going to jump in here with our quick initial reactions.
Which
just our first
called
impressions of the season finale. It's so hard for me to watch this with any sense of okay, what's important, what's dangerous. Someone gets stabbed in the foot. It's a momentary inconvenience. Ow, she writhes in pain, but did it stop her? Did it kill her? Is it dangerous, or is it just something to be easily dismissed?
Even when Slim Lady got hit in the head with a rock, it didn't. It served no purpose other than look at the Harfoots are fighting. They're the only thing that I can think of is we need to show how brave and
well, maybe, but
these hobbits are. But
it almost felt like they were trying to add a comedic element, because it's these mystical evil warriors to beat up Gandalf, and these little Ewok type figures are throwing little rocks at them and can't do anything but annoy them.
And then they start singing Nub Yub.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is supposed to be funny, but it's adding an unnecessary layer of humor when actually this is a dark, serious scene. And why not just leave it? Just take the Harfoots out. They're unnecessary. They don't do anything,
right?
And just keep it a dark, serious scene, and that would have actually been pretty cool. But the addition of the Harfoots was just annoying, and it didn't do anything for the battle, for the fight choreography, nor did it do anything for the plot. They were totally not necessary.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
but it's also like the whole kind of. I can see the Slim Shady Lady disguising herself as Nori to suck Gandalf in. It's but then they disguise themselves as Gandalf. They knew they were there. It's if they knew they were there, why do they need to pull them out?
I mean, the disguise as Nori, it was it didn't achieve anything. Again, it was why not just reveal herself as who she was? Because it wasn't they were just two people out in the forest.
But here's the other thing too. If this is indeed Sauron that they're seeking, and they believe that this be Sauron, they should just reveal themselves as oh, Master, here we are. We're gonna,
Right. I mean, it was it didn't make any sense. I'm going to trick someone I think is Sauron to looking at me for 2 seconds by disguising myself as someone I just met, Nori, who I don't know how she relates to Sauron. Are they friends? Are they allies? Are they enemies? But I'm gonna have my face like Nori for 2 seconds, so that this guy I think is Sauron is going to look at me for a second. What does it achieve? It doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't lure him into a trap. It doesn't if it lured him into a trap, that's one thing, but it didn't lure him into a trap. When you disguise yourself, you're trying to put someone under some kind of illusion. It's to trick them into doing something that you want them to do, but that didn't do it. That wasn't what they were doing. There was no reason for it. A million other things in this series.
They make the Harfoots look like hobbits that are dressed up for Halloween or whatever they do,
They look like hobbits at a Ren fair.
Exactly.
Hobbits at a Ren fair that for Druid Day at a Ren fair or something.
But it's why didn't they make the Harfoots primitive hobbits where they were?
Well, I think that's what they tried to do.
But they didn't. They weren't successful, because it's kind of they shouldn't have had paper that they carried all over the place. It should have been and don't you think if you pull in the cart, somewhere along, I think you brought this up, somewhere along the lines, you think they domesticate some kind of animal to help them with
cart,
this.
Yeah.
I mean,
their technology, their technological milieu did not make any sense.
People were riding horses before they invented the wheel. I'm pretty sure, right?
Right, and they're pre-agricultural, but they have paper and books, bound books in a pre-agricultural society.
I know. Where'd they get the paper from?
That's what I want to know. But yeah, nothing made sense. It's why lug this giant book around? I mean, if you have a nice library, you're going to have a nice big leather-bound book like that. But if you're
Sadok should have been the shaman. You know what I'm saying? The guy who remembers everything. Where
right. That's
he
the thing.
is
those kinds of early societies, everything was committed to memory. All those old epics, like the Epic of Gilgamesh, it wasn't written down on a giant book.
Yeah.
Those early societies, everything was just remembered.
I mean,
Everything, it was like an oral tradition. They should have done an oral tradition.
it should have been like the oral tradition, and they should have like the whole chanting of the names shouldn't have been written down in a book. It should have been like, we're chanting these names to remember these names because, you know, this is the only way that we're going to remember
Yeah, that's a
these
good
people.
point. Yeah. I forgot about that.
You know,
but
again,
but then
yeah, I'm sorry.
Sadek, he's dead. Like, you think he's dead, and then you know he's alive, and then he's dead. But then it's like, we're just gonna sit here.
Only they had. Hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt, but if only they had some kind of magical being
like
that had healed,
like one of the most powerful wizards on Earth was just feet away, that maybe could do something for him.
Right, that like basically like healed a tree overnight.
Healed a tree. That's what I was thinking. I was like you said, these Harfoots don't give a shit about anybody. It's like,
I know. It's like, oh please, like, we're just gonna let this
that scene with Nori, and she's like, "Who they told you that you were bad. You're not bad." And I'm like, no, you Harfoots told him he was bad. That's why you guys basically banished him.
You kicked him out of the thing. He's like, I'm bad because like the Harfoots don't like me, and like
that's how she. But anyway, so Sadek's sitting there dying, and everyone's like staring at the sun, like, okay, he's dying, no big deal. And then they don't even show like a funeral or anything. The next scene is like everyone's just like
happy as shit.
And then everyone's like, okay, I guess Nori, you're going away with him, aren't you? And it's like Nori's like, I am.
I'm like,
why? What purpose would that serve?
I know, it's like you're like. How was this even discussed? I mean, like,
like you think like if your daughter is going off with some random stranger who's like 6 feet taller than her, it's like you're gonna have some questions.
I know,
like are
some,
you gonna...
like send him out with Pedo Gandalf.
Like, okay, here's this stranger that's like really kind of unpredictable.
Dude, back in the 70s, people did that all the time, apparently.
This unpredictable stranger who's like 9 feet tall.
I'm going to send my kids, like, it's like sending your kids to the creepy ass basketball coach that
I almost expected Nori to look up at her parents and be like, "You're trying to get rid of me, aren't you?" Because they like seem really eager for her to go.
I know.
Here, just go on.
And like she's like not even she's like,
was she even invited? Was she invited to go with him?
I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
it's just like,
I didn't.
It's just like your bags are packed. Later.
And did Poppy or whatever her friend's name is go with her like a Sam to Frodo? But it's like, you're my best friend. You're my best friend. You'd think that the next line would be like, I'm coming with you.
I'm coming with you to protect you because
I'm coming with you to be that Sam that you need.
Yeah, to be your gardener.
I'll be your personal gardener and your personal stewer of conies.
I know.
But
what are you gonna do if you don't have any potatoes? Potatoes.
And so, but it was like, you're my best friend. Bye. I'm leaving with this guy I hardly know.
But here's the thing that really like drove me crazy about this whole thing. Okay, with the Harfoots, like how like okay, so at the end of the Lord of the Rings, like a 9-hour marathon of a movie, you had 20 minutes of an ending. Like with this thing, you had like 5.5, so 8 it was like this big, long, drawn out thing that
right.
Had no
it was
payoff.
like in the Lord of the Rings, there's this big, long, drawn out Greyhaven's goodbye, right? But it was justified by the emotional investment we had made in these characters. But they were trying to co-opt this emotional goodbye for characters that the writers don't even seem to give a shit about.
I know,
it's
man.
like they're trying to shoehorn all these Lord of the Rings isms, Peter Jackson isms. They're trying to shoehorn all these Peter Jackson isms into scenes where they haven't earned it. You know what I mean? They haven't earned that yet.
It's like well, okay, we're at episode 8. We need some kind of emotional payoff. Let's just
do a Peter Jackson goodbye scene.
Yeah, I know. I mean.